Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where today we will be taking a look at another one of the tanks that's on the list of buffs from the recent December 3rd update that Wargaming introduced to the game. This is the AMX 13 SS-11 TCA, and before we get into the details of what's changed about the AMX, I do want to say that I am quite impressed with the recent, I want to say, change in the way feedback is handled from Wargaming's side. It wasn't that long ago that the feedback on the accuracy of guns was submitted, I'll say, to Wargaming. And here we are, a few months later, we are seeing the feedback that was provided to Wargaming. We're seeing it being implemented into the game. We've seen the, well, so far what I've covered is the Bradleys. The Era 3 Bradley was the tank that needed the most love, because quite frankly, it was horrendous. The Era 2 Bradley wasn't quite as bad, but again, it needed a little bit of love. Another Era 2 light tank that is, I think it's been looked over, it's been looked past, it's sat in the shadows for too long, is the AMX 13 right here. And why has it sort of faded a little? Well, while the ATGMs absolutely slap, as you can see there, 1218 damage I think that was, the gun, historically, was another one of those guns that was just horrendous. It was awful. And a demonstration of how the gun has improved is right here. So the ATGM goes out, hits the Chieftain 120, and I pull off a shot. Bit of a snap, but there's a second shot. Third misses slightly. The previous version of the gun, I probably wouldn't have hit a single shot there. Not exaggerating, probably not a single shot. I've taken 2 shots here, both of them penned. There's 3, there's 4, and there's the kill. The previous version of the gun, I probably wouldn't have hit a single shot. I may have hit 1, playing it like this. This gun had to be played stationary because the reticle plume was enormous. Well, I don't want to say enormous. It was larger than was manageable when playing this tank. And that's one of the reasons why I slated it in my review. I did do a follow-up video on this tank after my review, so this is now my 3rd video covering this tank. I did do a follow-up on my original review to say I made a mistake, because the ATGMs did make this tank, it had potential to be very, very good. But if you were someone who struggled to use ATGMs, that didn't really follow through, because you had to be good at ATGMs for this tank to perform. And the gun wouldn't really help you. It wouldn't really help you at all, really. So it's nice that this tank now has both weapon systems are functional. And that means that the AMX 13 is now a solid, well-balanced light tank in Era 2. So let's now take a look at exactly what has changed with this thing. I'll put this up on the screen so you guys can see it as well. So the AMX 13 chassis, rotation speed 40 degrees a second to 46. That's a nerf, but you know, it's not going to break the tank. Shot dispersion penalty during movement and rotation. So during movement, it's gone from 0.12 to 0.08, and again for rotation, 0.12 to 0.08. So that's a buff. Turret view range 540 meters to 570 with true vision. You know, not a massive deal. It's going to help with, you know, auto detecting. Well, using the detection system, it will spot things further out, so that's good. Better, more spots, more spotting assist. But chances are you'll see targets with true vision before the detection system will spot them for you. Or maybe they won't, but that's a buff nonetheless. So we get I'll come back to this in a second. MVP 9,752 damage. That's a good game. That is a solid game. The map helped. El Alamein is a very good map for light tanks because you've got the long lines of sight and you can pull off some easier ATGM shots at range. Dragon Ridge, not so much, but we'll see how this game goes. So 75mm gun. Reload time has gone from 9.5 seconds to 8.9 seconds. So not a huge, not a huge buff, but it is a buff, and it's noticeable enough for the gun to start feeling like it. Okay, this is actually, oh, this is good. It's not crazy powerful, but it's good. Accuracy 0.32 to 0.28. That's what you'll notice. That right there. Shot dispersion penalty after shot dispersion penalty 3.5 to 2.5. Again, that's something you'll notice. Aim time 2 seconds to 1.7. So the gun aims faster. The shot dispersion is way less after each shot, and the accuracy is better. So your aim reticle is going to be smaller, and it's going to plume less with each shot, and it's going to shrink faster. All those things combined, it doesn't sound like a massive buff, but all those things combined end up giving us a gun that is so much better now than it used to be. I don't have the old stats. Kind of wish I did so we could compare them. Well, we've got the old stats here. Sorry. What I mean is I wish I had older gameplay, I suppose, so we could take a look at it. And I've got older videos, but I don't think I've got those recordings anymore. No, maybe I don't know. But anyway, this tank is now a lot better than it used to be. There's a couple of changes to the ATGMs, but again, I don't understand quite how they apply or how they're even noticeable in game. And the last point there is updated physics. So this gun, there goes an ATGM to the moon. This tank hasn't really changed all that much, but what has changed on it has taken it from being a mediocre light, below average mediocre light tank to now this is, if you're prepared to, if you want to find out how good a light tanker you are, this is a tank that it won't stretch you, but it's a challenge. This tank is not overpowered, it's not broken, it's well balanced, and it takes skill to do well in this thing. Especially when you're not sitting stationary at the back of the map, getting shot by ATGMs. That Begleitpanzer Panzer rushed in, and I think I remember getting a message from that guy. I think he spotted me and just went for me. I could be wrong, but that Begleitpanzer Panzer, he threw that one. The only thing I would say that is still a problem with the AMX, and this isn't really anything to do with the AMX, it's the era in which the AMX sits. I think that might be the Begleitpanzer Panzer player there. Might be wrong. But yes, this is a premium light tank, and as we all know, there is another premium light tank in Era 2 that is not as common as it used to be, but when it is in a game, it's pretty dominant. I don't need to tell you which one it is. I won't say what it is because we all know. But that is one of the problems that the AMX faces. There we go. There's the thing doing its thing. Yeah, the AMX is not a bad light tank, but it sits in an era where there are other premium lights that are way better, which is a shame, because this is a balanced light tank. Wargaming, if you want to know what a balanced light tank looks like, AMX 13, perfect, spot on. Is it bad? No. There's the MVP again, 6,151 damage, and Weasel is in second place. I rest my case. This is a balanced light tank. I like it. It's vastly improved on what it used to be. And if you've got the AMX 13 but you haven't played it because the gun used to be terrible, now's the time to play it. Now is the time to take it out and get your money's worth out of this thing, because it's actually pretty, well, it's balanced. And, I mean, who doesn't want to play a balanced premium? Especially if you've already paid for it. This is a good tank now. This is a balanced tank now. And it's another one that I can add to my list of, yeah, that's enjoyable. That's a good tank. I had fun playing that one. I did well. So there you go, guys. That is my... well, that is the update on the AMX 13. AMX 13 SS-11 TCA. There you go. I've got it written right there. Ha. Alright guys, that's all I've got for this video. If you've enjoyed it, please leave it a like, if not a dislike. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one.